So hello, my name is Isabel, and today I'm going to talk about the dark side of meditation. So we all know the benefits of meditation for your mind, your focus, your productivity, your body, your immune system. It releases stress. We all know that. There are thousands of articles about it, and that's why most people practice it. But there are some risks. Meditation or contemplative practices are a way to transcend the ego, to connect with the divine and liberate yourself from the illusion. And I think that people don't talk about the dark side of meditation as much as they should, because going beyond the ego is crazy. So I'm currently reading this book. It's called The Art of Losing Control by Jules Evans. It's a really good book. Like, if you want a good reading, definitely go check it out. And if you're too lazy to read something, there's actually a really good interview, and I'm gonna leave the link in the description below. So this dude went to a meditation center where they practice the Vipassana technique, and they weren't allowed to talk for 10 days. Well, basically they weren't allowed to do anything but meditating. No fags, no booze, no drugs, no meat, no talking, no reading or writing, no interaction with the opposite sex. No interaction with the opposite sex. And they also had to follow this rigid schedule. They had to wake up every day at 4 a.m. to meditate. You know, crazy stuff. Like, this dude actually in the book, he mentions this. Like, I did it for the book. And I was like, yeah, my G. Respect. Anyways, in the retreat, he meets this man. And it was his 5th retreat. 5 retreats? Because in one retreat, you're meditating 100 hours. So, damn. Because, like, if you really think about it, it's like downloading a WinRAR file of meditation. Just like 10 days. Whoop! No, these people ain't playing Hot Wheels. But to be honest, I think I could do it. But I digress. So he asked him how was his first time in the retreat, and he said, I quote, "I'm not sure I should tell you." He replied. I insisted. Well, I kept on having these very disturbing visions of hell, but it passed. Everything passes. Yeah, I did the exact same face that you did. I was like, bruh. In the book, he talks about Dr. Willoughby Britton, a clinical psychologist and neuroscientist at Brown University. She's been studying the negative experiences that people tend to have while meditating. And the most common experience is the resurface of traumatic or repressed memories. Other experiences: cognitive confusion and problems with planning, hallucinations, loss of narrative identity, loss of sense of agency, derealization, defamiliarization, extreme anxiety, panic, rage, and mania. What is curious is that while I was reading the book, because this is just a chapter in the book, I also came across this really cool article by David Cortava, Lost in Thought, The Psychological Risks of Meditation. And he also talks about Dr. Britton. In the article, he tells the story of Megan Budd, a 25-year-old woman who went to a Vipassana retreat for 10 days, and everything was okay up until the 7th day. She had a psychotic break, she couldn't make sense of anything, and she thought she had killed the universe. She mentioned that she was under medication. She was taking Zoloft for her anxiety. They contacted her family so they could take him, and in the way home she tried to kill herself several times. She was taken to the hospital and put under antipsychotics. A few days later, she said she didn't remember how she got there in the first place. And a week later, she was released. Her family did their best to make her feel normal, but unfortunately they couldn't accomplish the task. And one day she just killed herself. Jordan, Megan's sister, reached out to this group on Facebook called Cheetah House and sent a message to Dr. Britton, but it was already too late. I think it's also really important to say that Britton herself was a student of meditation. She was researching how meditation affects sleep. She conducted this study in 2 groups. One group that meditated 30 minutes or less, and one group that meditated more than 30 minutes. And what she found is that the group that was meditating 30 minutes or less actually got benefit. They were sleeping better. And the group that was meditating more than 30 minutes, their sleep got worse. Britton went to several retreats and asked people about these negative experiences, like psychotic breaks and dissociation. In 2012, Britton went to a mindfulness conference, and she presented her studies to the Dalai Lama. And she said to him that they should study the whole spectrum of experiences, not only the positive experiences, but the negative experiences too. And the Dalai Lama said these negative sides are their own mistake. The positive things, that's the real truth. Okay, so I fuck with the Dalai Lama, but you feel me? Like, I know he knows his stuff, but come on, bro. What about the yin and yang? There's positive and negative. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, in 2017, she presented this report of meditation-related difficulties that includes anxiety and panic, traumatic flashbacks, visual and auditory hallucinations, loss of conceptual meaning and structure, non-referential fear, affective flattening, involuntary movements, and distressing changes in feelings of self. 43 out of 60 meditators say they had experienced moderate to severe impairment in their day-to-day functioning. Some of these individuals in the study had pre-existing psychiatric conditions, but most of them did not. There's also another study that I found in the book. Jack Kornfield, a Buddhist teacher, he studied 2 groups of meditators. 95% of students on a 3-month retreat and 40% of students on a 2-week retreat reported experiences of rapture or bliss, but also painful experiences. They reported the return of difficult emotions and traumatic memories, automatic dysfunction in breathing, shaking, insomnia, nightmarish visions of violence or orgies. And he says that these experiences are normal for the student of meditation. I'm not an experienced meditator by all means. I've only been meditating for a year, so who am I to say about this subject? But in my experience, I've remembered 3 occasions that I have funky experiences. And I remember the first experience was I was meditating. I was trying to listen to the sounds, the sounds that were coming from the outside, noises. But at the same time, I was trying to listen to my thoughts. And I was trying to project those thoughts outside of myself. I was trying to listen to my thoughts as if they were coming from the outside. And I remember I did. And when that happened, I remember something happened. It was like, whew. And suddenly I was just being a witness. The sounds were there, my body was there, the sensations were there, and the feeling that I was love. And I also meditate with my eyes open, right? So when I was looking at the floor, I remember the floor was kind of moving as well. Very trippy. And I was like, what? And then I lost focus and it just went away. And I was like, and the other 2 occasions, I remember the same thing happened, but this time the feelings were negative feelings. And on the floor, I could see devils, like demons or negative entities in a way. The feeling was not pleasant. And they just triggered these really bad anxiety attacks in a way. And yeah, that's my experience. In the article, he also mentions Arnold Lazarus, one of the forefathers of cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT for short, and he saw that practices like transcendental meditation, when used blindly, can exacerbate some conditions. He realized that although these practices can be beneficial to many, they can also be unsafe for others. We still don't know if meditation can induce these mental problems, or rather, people that are already prone to these psychiatric conditions are triggered by it. And if there's anything that I can say is everything in moderation. Unless you're a monk, there's no real reason why you should be meditating for hours. And especially if you're that kind of person that just wants to enhance their well-being. 5 to 30 minutes of meditations, that seems reasonable. But having said that, meditation isn't for everybody, and you shouldn't feel obligated to do these practices because they're good for you, because this potentially can make you feel guilty, and we're trying to cultivate here compassion and self-compassion, so practice that. So that was it for today's video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave me a comment below if you want to give me feedback, if you have a recommendation, or if you just straight up hate me. Just let me know in the comment, and I will just give out to you compassion and love, and will say like, yeah, bruh. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this, so I can keep growing and learning about this process. Ciao, peace.